tossed to my grandmother to hell were extraordinary, and they plague me to this day. I remember leaving the trailer, getting on my little tricycle, and then a giant dinosaur would come and crush the trailer with all my uncle and my family in it, and I would have to scream on my tricycle, wailing down the highway, getting away as fast as possible so I couldn't be eaten. And then, of course, I even remember the repeating effect from when my mom came and finally got me in the 2nd grade, and I would still have nightmares in our house, with which would even actually cause me to sleepwalk and go downstairs into the kitchen at 3 a.m. and be harvested by a demon, a very cold entity that feeds on child's nightmares, which is also fed by eating dead animals. These nightmares are fed by. So that's why you shouldn't feed your children meat and blood, because the vine and the fruit for you shall be meat with the seed. And we need to remember that when you taste blood, your breath quickens and your DNA shifts, and this is a mutation in behavior. A mutation in gene expression and a mutation in behavior are one and the same. And these things have to be purged spiritually first before they can manifest physically. And we have to remember that when we heal inward, the outward reflects. And this is a reflection of a lot of healing. So that comes with wisdom, and it should demand respect and your $10 donation today, because it's been a hard year for me. I can hear the scowls now saying, haha, he's always after money. But I'm a Taurus. I never worry for money. Money will come. And so, back to my healing process. At one point, my mother did try to address this. I'll give her credit. When I was maybe 8 or 9, she went and got my older brother from the father because some reason she couldn't raise him or have custody of him, or, whatever reason the scatter trail of NASA selling off children and programming the adults to do that to each other, to cause this judicial court binding system where all the children are bounty instead of gods that should never touch the floor. I see myself next to my brother, whom I've only played with ever so scarcely. And when I'm told, oh, he's my brother, I remember having an activated, culturally aware relationship. And I remember the exact trauma that separated me from my brother. And I remember not having those brotherly experiences, and then not knowing what a predator looked like in the eyes of an adult and a child. And so, for each of our molestation experiences, we all feel tricked, or we all feel like improperly informed, or like we were forced into something. And that's what rape is. It's not something that only women get to talk about or express. It's that becoming prey, feeling and knowing that this person has deceived you. That's a universal feeling. And for me, it's deeply attached to being abandoned as a 2-year-old. And don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't remember. You can remember. If you clean your body, you clean your mind, you clean your... There's so many melanin centers that we need to clean. And a part of that is always constantly remembering to deepen thy breath and to sing in happy thoughts and to access dimensions that allow us to separate from the darkness, the triple darkness that we have access to, because we live in the light, we express in the light, and that is the time of this dimension to which we're allowed to come to do our thing and then hop to the next. So with that in mind, yeah, we're all responsible for our healing, but we are all also here to reflect. And this is very important to remember, to constantly reflect the truth and to not do any harm unto others, as that will only bring it unto ourselves and will thicken our journey instead of lighten our load. So with that in mind, yeah, she tried to apologize to both of us for not. It was vague, it was riddled, and it didn't last. And so I'm saying that she wasn't direct, and that wasn't good enough for me to heal. Now, the plague I just came through um, was some type of grieving ritual, which all men need to do with other men. And that's why I'm inviting people to come to Costa Rica to really open up and allow the black sand and playa negra, the iron properties, to extract your negative vibrations and to find yourself lost in the jungle, so that all of the bad entities can be expelled by the beauty around you. And even now, a butterfly flies right in my path, knowing and giving me a pattern of confirmation, despite the flies plaguing me. Purging is important. If you wake up and you're not doing that, all of Babylon should be doing that right there, because that's the way you expel demons spiritually, and that's the way you get that mucus, that really thick glob that prevents the communication between your cells to form properly, thus disturbing your homeostasis and increasing your chances of cancer, because you're not able to affect at a high level. That's why we purge with the sun as well. That's why we purge with herbs and carcinogens are one and the same, about a dual process of separating the bad from the good, the wheat from the tare, and purifying ourselves unto the divine. And so with that in mind, it is important to remember that trauma must be revisited in a tropical environment in order for the healing process to solidify, because the light is not so scattered and affluent in North America. You can't even really have full and coherent thoughts like you can out here. You can be accessed. This is a sanctuary, and this is my temple. And if you want to commune with me, you're allowed to do that. And there's a link below for all those that are interested in getting the first divine masculine retreat and nude yoga retreat going, which was posted for January, but will most likely be pushed to February. So I want this to be a group of 5 to 6 men who have been vegan for a while and won't complain about the food, and are ready to dive deep, because I got the keys. I got the keys, and you need to come see me. I'm your chaman, and the one who can connect you with this land here on a divine frequency, so that you properly allow the right bells to ring and your trauma to be healed. I would like to share my spirit with at least 5 to 6 people, men, who can help me address my brotherly issues, as well as help them solidify their fortitude and diet and mental self-assuredness is what we need. We need to exist in solitary. We need the strength of our brother to give us that little nudge that we know we need as a human. Because what the system tries to teach you is that you have to do it by yourself, and that your only self-worth comes from what you individually achieve. There's no communal respect given to the one who shares his honor and glory. only to those that put another on a pedestal. And so we have to remember that through ritual, community, and nature, are we able to find purpose, which is the strength to continue with each passing day. And with that, I am proud to announce Jasol Retreats is open for registration, and I have finally completed the work that I needed to do in order to be ready, to be grounded as the double Taurus that I am. So thank you for tuning in. May all that you share and wonder be a careful reminder unto the fractal nature of our oneness. Ja!